She grabs that check and she goes like this. Sister said, "Oh, the donation box is at the entrance." Don't be giving no little crummy up check looking like that. Now you know you here with all this money, all right? You here with all this money and you pull out this little check like you paying for a field trip. Welcome to this edition of Something to Say with KB. I am he, K to the B, coming at you with so much personality, giving you my 2 cents and my opinion yesterday and today because I always got something to say. Before we jump into the conversation for today, please do me a favor. Go ahead and press the subscribe button, the like button, the share button, and please the notification button. So when I post things, you will already be here. You'll be ready to jump right on into the conversation because you know I always got something to say. I'm ready to talk now, but I got to say that first, all right? So go right ahead. And if you want to, you can follow me on Instagram at Something to Say KB, as you can see as I wrote right on down here, all right? Our new subscribers, come on in, join in the conversation. I got something to say. You got something to say. So let's all say it together and talk about it together. All right. Well, today I will be talking about August Alsina. He wrote a tweet. Is he retiring? Is he done with music? Let's talk about it. Also, I will be talking about our kind of people that came on Fox and just gave me every bit of life. Also, let's go on down to gospel music. Ricky Dillard and New G dropped the new single. Is it a bop? Is it a flop? Let's talk about it. You ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Let's start off with August Alsina. For those who know me and those who don't know me, August Alsina, my favorite R&B singer of the day. All right, back when I first heard him years and years ago, I was riding. I'm sitting there like, I said, "What? Who is this singing?" Brother could sing. I was listening to it, and I'm like, "Who is this? Who is this singing like this with this good old vocal cord singing right here?" So after that, I've been a fan of August Alsina from the beginning. All right, but let's take a look at what he said. Let me use my phone so I can read this tweet about what August Alsina said. And it says, and I quote from his Twitter, it says, "To all the loved ones who support me, these last couple projects are likely to be the last you'll hear of August Alsina. With that said, it is my hope that we can enjoy each other while I'm here on my last victory lap around the sun." Now, I don't like how that sounds now. That sounds a little too, I don't like that. So I was a little nervous when I read that. I was a little nervous, but I'm going to take it as in he's meaning he is retiring from music. Is he retiring? Is he not? What is August Alsina doing? All right. What is he doing? I was getting upset. I was like, wait a minute. Now you can't retire because I like listening to the music. All right. I love to hear him say, "I bought the first album, Testimony." That is still my favorite album that he has done. There's a song on there called Right There. I used to blast that song in the house, in the car, everywhere. I was be in the house, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. I used to live for that song right there. All right, I love that. That album was so real. I remember he talking about he had to live in the back of the Quick and Easy. That was an album that really showed somebody that came from nothing and made it into something. The album was so real. I like all his other albums too, but Testimony was so real to me. I listened to that album from beginning to end. Do people still say albums? Album, record, CDs. All of it, all right? You see right here, it is what it is. All right, let me fix my glasses. I've been a fan of August Alsina, but this is when I became a real fan of August Alsina. When he was on 106 in Park, he asked them, "Do not ask me about Trey Songz." He asked them that. "Before we go on this interview, do not ask me about Trey Songz." She asked him about Trey Songz. And you know, some people, they got the saying, "The show must go on." Now, August Alsina, and you just gonna ask that when I asked you not to ask that when I came up in here. I lived for it. I felt bad for it. I really felt bad for the girl. I was like, "Oh, who told you to ask that anyway?" All right, you got to respect people. Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that, because now you ask me that. Now I'm gonna have to embarrass you right here on your own show. Just that. And I became a super fan after that. I said, I like that. Say how you feel and feel what you say, all right? And I remember when him and Trey Songz were beefing. I don't know if they're still beefing. I don't know if they're not beefing anymore. I really don't care. When that whole thing was going on, I remember someone asking me, hey, who you like better, August Alsina or Trey Songz? I was like, I like listening to them both. He's like, no, but you got to choose. You can't, they're beefing, so you got to choose. Who you choosing, Trey Songz or August Alsina? But if you don't get out my face with that nonsense, why do we got to choose between artists? I always was wondering that. Why do we got to choose this or that, him or her? Like if they're beefing, why I got to choose? Like it was with Drake and Meek Mills. Who you choosing, Drake and Meek Mills? I listen to them both, all right? I like them both. But I don't understand why people felt like I had to choose. I got to choose between artists. I mean, you go out to eat, you like Chick-fil-A and Chipotle. If you like them both, Monday I might have this, Tuesday I might have this. Why do I got to choose between artists? I really never understood that. So I ain't the person to choose. I like artists for different reasons. This artist gives me this feeling when I listen to it. This artist gives me that feeling when I listen to him or her. I'm not choosing. I was like, bro, get out my face with that nonsense. Who you choosing? I'm like, who you choosing? He was like, so how you gonna listen to August Alsina and listen to Trey Songz? They beefing. How you gonna play him and then tomorrow play the other one? I didn't know that this was a gang. I didn't know that I had to choose. Just get out my face, all right? Like I don't that nonsense. And speaking of music, let's go on down to the gospel music section, all right? We have Ricky Dillard and New G dropped a phenomenal single this week called All of My Help. Ricky Dillard and New G, one of my favorite gospel artists, gospel groups. I love listening to them. That song, All of My Help, was really a feel-good song. I'm saying was, like it's not. It is a feel-good song. When I was listening to it, I was just sitting there. I'm in the house. I'm in the car, rocking to it, bopping to it, talking about feel-good. So on Instagram, they have this challenge. I forgot what the name of the challenge was. Soprano challenge. Something. It's with the song. So everybody was posting videos of them singing the soprano part in the song. So as I was watching, everyone was talking about the soprano part, all right? The soprano, there's alto, and then there's tenor for those who know music, all right? So I listened to the soprano part, all right? And I was listening to it like, okay, the soprano part in the song, lovely. The alto part in the song, lovely. But we're not going to act like the tenor section wasn't holding it down. D-O-W to the end. I'm really eager to see what the rest of the album is going to sound like. If the single is that great, I'm excited to hear what the rest of the album is going to be. See, I'm that person. I listen to gospel, R&B, rap, all that, neo soul. I listen to all that because each song I listen to, all the genres of music that I listen to, give me something different that I need. Sometimes I need to turn up. All right, so before I get into the conversation about our kind of people, everyone, I got to ask you a question. I'm having a don't you hate moment, all right? Now listen to this don't you hate moment. You can be at the grocery store, the mall, or wherever, and you decide to park all the way in the back. There's so much parking lot, and there's not a lot of cars there, so you park all the way in the back. I do it all the time. Park all the way in the back. It makes me walk. All right, it makes me walk to where I'm going. All right, so I park all the way in the back. There's no cars parked beside me. There's a huge parking lot. It's a lot of cars not there. And if they are, they're all spaced out. It's a huge parking lot with empty parking spaces. So I park all the way in the back. I come out of the store. There is a car parked directly beside my car. So, all this parking lot. I mean, there's all this parking lot with all these empty parking spaces, and you decide to park right here, right next to my car. And it's not like right next to it. I mean, it's right up on it. Where I got to, if I'm trying to get in the passenger side door, I got to like get in the car and put it in reverse and get out like you're parked right next to me and you're parked really close. All this parking lot. Am I the only one? If that's happened to you, put it in the comments that has happened to you. Oh, I can't stand it. I hate saying the word hate. I hate saying the word hate. Hate is such a strong word, but I heavily dislike it. If you see there is a car parked right here and there's a whole bunch of parking spaces in this huge parking lot, don't park right next to the car. Park somewhere else. The whole purpose of the person parking back here is so they can be alone, and you go park right. I don't know. It's like a magnet. You're like, ooh, off this parking spot, a car that's by itself, that's all the way away from it. Let me come park right beside it. And then you be checking your car to make sure anybody do nothing like, oh, this is suspicious. Like all this place to park, and you park right here next to me. This looks suspicious, all right? I just had to say that because we all have a don't you hate moment, all right? I have plenty of them. Stay tuned and listen out for more of them as the weeks go on, all right? Let's go. All right, here we go. I've been waiting for this TV show since I first saw the commercial, the trailer for. I've been waiting to see this TV show. All kinds of people on Fox, all right? Let me tell you this. I'm loving this already, all right? I love me some good scripted TV, all right? I love me some good scripted television, all right? So let me read. I got some notes down here. So let me read my notes so I don't forget anything that I'm going to talk about. First off, let's talk about the fashion, all right? The fashion in this is phenomenal, all right? The person, I don't really be knowing what designer is who unless you show me the tag, all right? Unless you show me, unless it says it right there on the shirt or on the label. If it don't say it, I don't know who the designer is. But what I do know is it doesn't look nice or no, all right? Does it look nice or is it not looking good at all, all right? And you shouldn't have worn that, and you should never wear that ever again. I love the fashion, especially at that fashion show that the women's group was having. And y'all, I'm not going in order of anything. I'm just talking about things that stood out to me. So if you want me to go in order of the show, beginning to end, just go watch it. All right. Just go watch it. Okay. So the fashion stuck out to me. I love it. I'm loving the long hair, that long ponytail. I think it was a ponytail, but that long hair. I love the fashion that was at the fashion show. I just love the fashion that is a part of this TV show, all right? The fashion is A1 to me, all right? So let's go to when she got there. Yeah, and we all know Yaya, she was on America's Next Top Model season 3. She was the runner-up to Eva, all right? She's doing a pretty good job, but she can always act. She played Whitney Houston. I mean, I didn't really care too much for the movie, but she did a good job for what she was given. All right. What she was given, she did a good job. All right. But I digress. She's moving there. She moved in because she has some business she needs to take care of in honor of her mother. All right. So she's going there. So she wants to be a part of the women's group. She wants her daughter to be a part of things. She's doing a lot to let everyone know that she's here and she belongs here. So let's go to this party that she was at. All right. This party, talking to Morris Chestnut's wife, which later on we find out that is her sister. They did a cutback moment where she was a little girl and she ran out. Her father was leaving and there was a little girl in the car. And we came to find out that little girl was her sister. I forgot the character's name. I'm still learning the name. Morris Chestnut's wife. We don't know who that is. All right. We can see that they don't know that they're sisters yet, but we'll find that out. So when they get to the party in the beginning, she goes there. She's going to the fundraiser party. So she grabs her little check. She didn't do all that, y'all. I'm just being dramatic. All right. So she grabs that check and she goes like this. Sister said, oh, the donation box is at the entrance. All right, I live for it. Don't be giving no little crummy up check looking like that. Now, you know you here with all this money, all right? You here with all this money and you pull out this little check like you paying for a field trip, all right? So I live for that part right there, all right? I love it. Y'all, I'm loving this show already. And later on in the episode, they're at the women's party. They have a men's group and they have a women's group. They're at the women's group and they're getting a fundraiser done, who's going to do what. And Yaya's character stood up. She was like, oh, I want to do fashion. And she was like, you can help with food. And Yaya was like, snacks? You're going to put me on snacks? Well, and what I really wanted the sister to say after Yaya said snacks, you're going to put me on snacks? And she would have said yes. And don't forget, the donation box is at the entrance. I would have lived, all right? I would have lived. Another thing about this show that really stood out to me was, of course, they have the women's group and then they had the men's group. And during the scene we saw in the men's group, they were reciting the poem of Invictus. It gave me a couple flashbacks. If you know, you know, all right? I had some flashbacks. Woo! And everybody wants to feel like they fit in. And what I'm seeing from Yaya's character, even with her daughter, she wants her daughter to fit in. She wants to fit in. She wants to fit in because she knows that she belongs there. And I'm going to say this. I don't care. They can pretend all they want. They know exactly who Yaya is. I forgot her name. I think it's Angela. They know. If it's not Angela, y'all, my bad. All right, it just came on, y'all. Give me another episode. I learned everyone's names. They know exactly who she is. Everybody's playing like, we don't know. They know exactly who they are. They know who she is. And I honestly believe the kids know who they are too, because they was acting shady towards the daughter. They just met the daughter and they already, like you don't even know me. Like you just, that's how people act. But people act really like that when they know something about you and they know that you're great. All right? People hate on you for no reason. As soon as you walk up, they give it a stank face. Look at her. What's she doing here? I know I told her what's she here for. And they're doing that because they know your greatness even before you do sometimes. Come on. Another thing, Joe Morton. Go ahead and call him the GOAT. I'm ready for the monologues, all right? I'm ready for the monologues, okay? Joe Morton is one of my favorite characters in everything that he plays, even in Scandal. He was so crooked, but he was my favorite character, all right? And in this, I'm like, Joe Morton about to be my favorite character again. He's crooked, but I love crooked in this kind of stuff because Joe Morton, I can't see him playing anybody on the straight and narrow. He plays crooked very well. And you'd be like, wait a minute. This man is crooked, but I love it. I'll be like, every time he come on the screen, I'm like, yo, we about to get an A+ performance. So go ahead and just give him an Emmy now. Joe Morton is the GOAT of primetime TV when it comes to a crooked character, all right? Do we feel that the show jumped in too fast and they're kind of pushing it too fast, or do we think it should have slowed down, all right? I saw a lot of that online, I saw a lot of that in different comments. People were saying, oh, it was too fast, things like that. But I will say this, I think the reason why they jumped in it so fast and they just took off to the race and took off going, because sometimes we don't let shows develop. If it ain't you getting raw in the first 2 seconds of the episode, we bored. Next. All right, we're not really good with character development anymore. Like, let's develop the character. We got to jump right in. So I love it. Jump right into it. I love it. I ain't gonna lie. I like a good character development, but I mean, you got about 15 minutes to develop the characters for me, and we got to go. Show me why I'm about to watch this. All right, it jumps right in to it. All right, it jumps right into it. Thank you for watching this edition of Something to Say with KB. Be yourself, love yourself, and remember, your haters can copy, but the paste won't be the same. And I'm out.